I thought I had the perfect marriage. Andrew and I had been together for 12 years, married for 8. We had 2 beautiful children, a lovely home in the suburbs, and what I believed was a deep, unbreakable bond. He was my rock, my best friend, my everything, or so I thought. The story I'm about to tell you is how my perfect world shattered into a million pieces and how I discovered the man I loved was a complete stranger. It all started subtly, so subtly that I almost convinced myself I was imagining it. Andrew began working late more often. Big project at the firm, he'd say, looking tired but sincere. Then there were the business trips, which suddenly became more frequent. Weekends away for conferences I'd never heard of before. At first, I was the supportive wife, packing his bags, wishing him luck, and managing the kids and the house alone, telling myself it was temporary. He was building a future for us, right? The little red flags started popping up like weeds. He became incredibly protective of his phone. It was always face down on the table or in his pocket. He changed his password, claiming it was for added security. Once, I playfully reached for it to look up a restaurant, and he snatched it back so fast, his eyes filled with a flicker of panic I'd never seen before. He laughed it off, saying he was just jumpy from a stressful day, but the image of his face in that moment stayed with me. Then there were the financial oddities. I handle our family budget, so I notice everything. There were unexplained credit card charges, dinners at expensive restaurants I'd never been to, flower deliveries to an address I didn't recognize, and even a charge for a hotel in our own city. When I asked him about them, he always had a plausible excuse. That was a business dinner with clients, honey. The flowers were a corporate gift for a colleague. The hotel? Oh, the company booked it for an out-of-town executive. It must have been a mix-up on the card. And it was all in my head? I'd be the crazy, paranoid wife, so I kept quiet and started paying closer attention. The real turning point came on our anniversary. I had planned a surprise romantic dinner at home. I sent the kids to my parents' house, filled the dining room with candles, and cooked his favorite meal. He was supposed to be home by 6. 6 o'clock came and went, then 7, then 8. I called his phone but it went straight to voicemail. I texted him, my messages remaining unread. I stood alone in the dining room, looking at the life I thought we had, and I just knew. The gut feeling was no longer a whisper, it was a scream. That night, I didn't sleep. As he snored beside me, a man who felt like a stranger, I made a decision. I couldn't live with the uncertainty anymore. I needed proof. I needed the truth, no matter how much it hurt. The next morning, after he left for work, my investigation began. It felt wrong, like a betrayal in itself, but I knew my sanity depended on it. Finally, one of them worked. The inbox loaded, and my world tilted on its axis. It was an entire universe of his betrayal. There were hundreds of emails, not just with one woman, but with several, stretching back years. There were romantic exchanges, plans for secret getaways, and photos. Photos of him with other women, smiling, kissing, looking as happy and in love as he once looked with me. There were emails from a woman named Chloe, thanking him for the beautiful necklace. Another set of emails from A. Jenna, talked about their special weekend at the local hotel. But the deepest cut came when I found a folder labeled Old Times. Curiosity or maybe self-destruction made me click it. Inside were emails that predated our marriage, emails from when we were engaged, emails from the first year after our son was born. He had been cheating on me from the very beginning. It wasn't a midlife crisis or a recent mistake. This was who he was. My entire marriage, our entire life together, was built on a foundation of lies. The 12 years I had dedicated to this man, the family I had built with him, it all felt like a sham. I sat there for what felt like hours, just staring at the screen, tears streaming down my face. It was a strange mix of emotions, devastating heartbreak, but also a weird sense of relief. I wasn't crazy. My gut had been right all along. The man I married didn't exist. He was a character Andrew played, and he played it well. When he came home that evening, I didn't scream or cry. I was eerily calm. I had printed out a few of the most damning emails and the jewelry store receipt. I laid them out on the kitchen table, the same table where we ate breakfast with our children every morning. He walked in, smiling, asking what was for dinner. Then he saw the papers. The color drained from his face. The charming, confident mask he always wore crumbled. And for the first time, I saw the real Andrew, a weak, cornered man. He tried to deny it, of course. The usual script. It's not what it looks like. This is a huge misunderstanding. Those are old. But the evidence was undeniable, and the cold, steady look in my eyes told him the game was over. I didn't need his confession. The evidence spoke for itself. It told a story of a man who was never faithful, a man who couldn't love one person, a man who had deceived me for over a decade. That night, I asked him to leave. The journey since that day has been incredibly difficult. There's been pain, anger, and so much grief for the life I thought I had. But there has also been healing. Discovering the truth, as brutal as it was, set me free. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're going through something similar, please know you are not alone and your feelings are valid. Trust your instincts. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories. See you next time.